There is no glory greater than winning a Counter-Strike major.
I don't really have much words to say, as you know. I'm not crying, you're crying.
There is no better way to write your name into history.
We did it. And major is ours. Major is Navi.
It's an achievement reserved for the game's greatest dynasties, super teams, and gods.
Your Blast TV Paris Major Champions! Team Vitality!
And at the Austin Major, with all of Counter-Strike's titans set on lifting the game's most coveted prize, a ragtag group of misfits from the middle of nowhere aimed to change everything.
They are a little bit one-dimensional in the way they approach Counter-Strike. A young team with, there's a lack of experience in these deep player fronts.
But with the weight of a nation resting on their shoulders, the Mongols rose and shocked the world.
The one that was slowly piecing together some kind of comfort zone. No comfort whatsoever. 910 hits another. He doesn't know shots. And so this space he will do it all if he has to. As the others step forward, no help is coming from us. Cause the emergency services.
Before we get into today's story, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Omen, for being our portal to possibility by sending our crew on an esports world tour, kicking things off in Austin, Texas, to experience the first North American CS major since, well, you know the one.
But it's no more play! Stewie's won the round! We go to overtime!
Unleash your ultimate gaming potential with the Omen Max 16 laptop. Crafted for powerful performance, the Omen Max 16 is equipped with up to an Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, offering gamers desktop-level performance anywhere, encased in a light, portable body they can take on the go. Then, there's also a groundbreaking new self-cleaning fan technology called Fan Cleaner. Powered by Intel, this built-in feature periodically reverses the fan's direction to prevent dust buildup for absolutely peak reliable performance. And for the first time ever, Omen gives players the ability to manually overclock their laptop's CPU and GPU for max performance, up to 250 watts total processing power without having to go into the BIOS. Thanks again to Omen for helping players navigate through any gaming obstacle to reach new levels with the Omen Max 16, now available at omen.com. And now, let's get back to our story.
Going into the Austin Major, few thought that the Mongols had any shot of making it to the grand finals, let alone past their first match of the bracket.
Everybody knows it's coming. It's not going to be the Mongols. It has to be FaZe.
I think the concern for me is I don't think the Mongols were at their best in the group stage, and that's normally when they are at their best.
Mongols, we know how they struggle on stage, so this is going to be, I feel like, another 2-0 for FaZe Clan.
It was hard to blame the pundits. The Mongols were some of the youngest, most aggressive, and most mechanically talented players at the event, but seemed to pale in comparison to the titans they shared the bracket with. And yet Counter-Strike's greatest ever underdogs were about to show the world they were more than anyone expected.
Mirage their map pick, and you can see the confidence. You can feel the confidence. 910 yet again into that kill feed. Will he ever stop? Him and Senzu combining with the Ox yet again. Techno backs turn to him, and the headshots follow through. No respect. It is a vitality that is dead on arrival. Mongols shock the world.
But to understand how the Mongols achieved the impossible, we need to understand where they came from. Mongolia is the least densely populated country on Earth, with 2.2 people for every square kilometer. Nearly half of Mongolia's population lives in its capital, Ulaanbaatar, while the rest of the nation is made up of endless grasslands, mountains, and deserts. And yet, amid the steppes, CS has flourished.
And what are the most common games that people play?
The most favorite one, I would say, the Counter-Strike 1.6.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Still?
They do still play.
Mongolian gamers frequent internet cafes, but high ping made international competition almost impossible for years. On top of that, for many years, Mongolia looked down on gaming, and the government legislated to restrict young people from playing games past 7 p.m. But much of that changed when the Mongols burst onto the scene.
Medici does nothing. Flash through, follow-up smoke, not going to be effective. Machine Gun will collect his first kill of the round. Just a little bit of a spray, manages to pick up another one. There's a third. Can he get a quad? He'll get a quad. Can he get the ace? No, Menace shuts it down. I mean, it just feels so natural for this guy. He just like walks in like, I will collect all the kills.
The Mongols first formed in 2015, but hit a new gear when a young star named Machine Gun joined their ranks the next year. They came out of nowhere to win IEM Taipei 2016, putting them on the map and instantly making them look like the best CS team in Asia. And that got their home country buzzing.
When the Mongols won in 2016, they become the role model for young people. Now it's a kind of national pride. People on my age, and young people, and fathers, mothers, and caretakers, and grandparents, we all think, oh, this is the business. It's just inspiration for an entire nation.
But just as quickly as the Mongols appeared, the team fizzled out. They were crushed at IEM Katowice that year and were later forced to bow out of the Columbus Major closed qualifier due to visa issues. Machine Gun's play was impressive enough to get him noticed by Splice, though his American journey was short and uneventful. He returned to Mongolia defeated, but with the knowledge that he had inspired a new generation of Mongolian CS players. And as the clock wound down on CSGO, that generation was ready to pick up the torch. After the Mongols fell apart, a young group of players took the legendary banner and gathered beneath it to represent their country. And while they failed to make much of an international impact at first, they quickly cemented themselves as the best team in Asia, particularly after adding their AWPer 910.
And now 910 Zorb's got to do it alone, but he's bested A-Core in the head-to-head. Any more from the AWP? Just one man left to beat. Coming from the market side as well. And Bolt is deleted. An electric round from 910.
910 grew up in Darkhan, a small city 5 hours away from Ulaanbaatar by train. But the capital is where all the best CS players were, and 910 wanted to play against them to be the best in the world. 910 put everything he had into train rides to the capital, hoping to win enough money playing CS lands to get back to Darkhan. If he won, he got to return home to eat and sleep. If he lost, he was effectively homeless until the next tournament. After a few years playing for amateur teams, 910 joined the Mongols, giving him a salary, a stable place to play in Ulaanbaatar, and the chance to travel the world. However, despite 910's incredible skills, 2023 was a challenging year for the Mongols. They continued to dominate Asian events, qualifying for international tournaments again and again, but came up short. However, they were climbing. They exited IEM Cologne in groups that summer, but made top 4 at DreamHack Atlanta by the end of the year. Then they made it to the elimination stage at the Copenhagen Major in 2024, before losing to Na'Vi, Vitality, and Pain. But their big break came in the spring.
The sequence continues. Down, dealing damage, but 910 with a flick back up. 1v2 comes off the bomb. Ready for the main hit. Shuts down Device. The Danish machination in this round is going wrong. Still in the 1v1. Yabi looking for the flank round the back. 910, can he pick this up? Paranoid about the Henry! The Mongols go huge!
Yala Compass wasn't necessarily packed with the biggest teams. In fact, only 3 of the top 10 teams in the world were in attendance. But it was the environment the Mongols needed to get a big confidence boost. They topped their group, having only lost 1 game to Astralis. The 2 teams faced each other again later in the tournament, where the Mongolians were able to avenge their loss, and from there, they went on to trounce Ninjas in Pajamas in the grand finals to make history.
A couple more kills will do it. Wrinkle misses out, and it looks like their days are numbered.
910 with the first. Reds claps back with 2. The AK trying to once again bring the game back alive for NIP. And the Mongols find it. Another championship taken. Another land going the way of the Mongols. The beasts of Asian Counter-Strike have done it again.
On top of helping Mongols lift their first ever international trophy, 910 was named the MVP of the tournament, catapulting him into the global spotlight for the first time. And from there, the team's ranking only continued to climb.
They have 2 players to topple inside B, and they've been spotted. Everybody on high alert, a single frag away. Counter-Strike is made by its history, and in the early days of CS2, we write the first page of a new book. Asian Counter-Strike for the first time in major playoffs. Bask in the glory of the modern Mongol horde.
By the end of the year, they posted a top 8 finish at the Shanghai Major, followed by a stunning top 4 showing at IEM Katowice 2025.
Cardia on notice, they're spamming him from every direction. Jota does damage, but Techno does more. With Cardia low, he's dead now on the floor. Only Woxic can save them. Or the Mongols have secured themselves the semi-final. It's theirs! A 2-0 dominance from the Mongolians. Their first trip to the Spodek.
The Mongols had achieved so much in such a short period of time that their home country simply had to take notice. The government of Mongolia continued to support gaming, naming the Mongols an official part of the country's national team. But despite all the success, all they had accomplished, there was still one hurdle the Mongols could not overcome.
Testing Rolf, Mazinho swings into his crosshairs, converted upon. 9-10 and Senzu left to try and defend their honor. In this semi-final, it's only 9-10. He can fall in a moment. Flames makes it so. A grand final. And his very first win on the Spodek stage. Vitality will see Championship Sunday, and for Mongols, they did themselves proud. The sweat on Vitality's brow, a product of their Counter-Strike.
No matter how well the Mongols did in S-tier tournaments in 2025, it felt as if they had hit their ceiling. They did what no other Asian CS team had ever done, but they couldn't break through against the best teams in the world.
Like this, Vitality have so much room to play gambly, to make these type of moves. 4 players over in the A site, there should be no world for the Mongols. Domination out of Vitality, grand final secured.
This one comes crumbling down all around them. Blitz is going to try to run him down, and Monacy's going to end this. A triple for the kid, as G2 can take a sigh of relief.
Techno extends it. Being hunted down, and there it is, 13-3, a thrashing in the Rod Laver Arena, a semi-final day that has flown past.
The Mongols were good, but never quite good enough, which is why going into the Austin Major, few believed that the Mongols could go all the way. Their tournament began in the 3rd stage of the Swiss, and while most people expected them to make it into the bracket, few expected the Mongols' path to be as bumpy as it was.
Sit back now in a 5-on-3, Faith in the Molodoy Orc to help walk this one over the line. 1 kill back, sure, but the layers of defense here, 9-10, cut down. It's Furia with the victory in a long back-and-forth game.
Furia once again exposed Mongols' LAN inexperience. Furia was not a team that was supposed to beat the Mongols, but thanks to their seasoned leader Fallen, the Brazilians were able to prevail, casting further doubt on the Mongols' chances. But from there, the Mongols rallied. First, they took down Team Liquid.
To the Mongols, Deagles. Ultimate empty hands. His AWP does nothing. Nerds, the only one standing and delivering here for Liquid, but now he goes down. And down goes the last. Mongols prevail. Liquid on life support.
And then followed it up with another 13-7 win over Lin Vision Gaming.
Su could do with the stage. 15 seconds, they're not even on the bomb side, it's lost outside, and so is the map. Senzu at the end with the final kills, and an absolutely beautiful CT side from the Mongols.
But those were teams they were expected to beat. They had still yet to rewrite the narrative that they couldn't handle the best teams in CS. And they were about to face their greatest test yet.
Kind of had Mongols' hands tied for a moment, but Rosen ends up being found out by Senzu, so this retake suddenly on. Simple slides out, taps away for the Senzu kill, has no idea where 910's at, but now he hears it, and goes around, can come around.
FaZe Clan were one of the teams everyone was talking about going into the tournament. For one very simple reason.
Yesterday, we were hit with the breaking news that Simple will once again be making a return to professional CS2, still on loan from Na'Vi, but this time to FaZe Clan, and right in time for the Austin Major.
Simple could be the one, if he is back in form and he is hungry, wants to play, could he save FaZe?
It's kind of like a Michael Jordan return moment, but he's actually good.
Given Simple's preternatural gifts for the game, it felt like he could always pop off at any second, and his loan to FaZe ahead of the Major had people talking.
I mean, that's what's crazy about this, that he's actually played himself into shape over the course of 3 weeks, it looks like, and now is competing for one of the best players in the Major.
With Simple in their ranks, FaZe looked like one of the most intimidating teams in the world. They were a super team, and it showed.
The best rifle still out there on the Mongols field stands between them and an A-site post plant. Fast move from the Mongols, rotate, drop ball from 910 though. 2 SMGs and 5 FaZe players all giving cover, all coming together to make a statement here in Austin. A map secured off the back of a 2v4, a 3v5, those classic FaZe antics.
Ancient might have been close, but the score line belied the real narrative. While the Mongols led the first half 8-4 before the side switch, they collapsed on CT, losing the map 13-11. Once again, it seemed like they couldn't handle the mounting pressure, and map 2 only cemented that narrative.
ZywOo just gets stuffed on the smoke. It's a ring double. Fast swap to the Galil. And they've been constantly trying to challenge him.
How did he even know he was in front of him? See anything?
No
Rain?
way. Just sprays through the smoke.
Oh, he's on an ace!
A struggling Mzinho, the only line of defense over towards A. Rain gets what's left of Senzu. Mzinho gets aggressive, and it is a Rain triple kill as his reign of terror doesn't stop. 19-9. Alicia's gonna flex out through the mid-control. FaZe on the brink of a 12th, and it's a Rain quad kill from the depths of Canals. Rosen tried to keep them kicking and screaming at the start of all of this, but believe your eyes, Austin, you have your hero. Alicia will take to the stage in playoffs.
The loss didn't just shred the Mongols' image, it also put them teetering on the brink of elimination. Losing to FaZe meant that Mongols were 2-2 in the Swiss. They had one more game to play. Win, and they were in the bracket. Lose, and they were going home. No second chances. But their next opponents were just as hungry.
A retake?
Oh, it looks like it's inbound. Man advantage here, trying to fight for bottom ramp. Hunter's gonna try to get himself into the site here. Hades just popping him on the retake.
That Hades.
Oh, it is hook, line, and sinker. They thought they had more space to get away with that. Low health for Hades. Doesn't make a difference. Just skeet shooting.
G2 Esports were another team with buzz going into the Major, but for maybe the opposite reason to FaZe. They had just lost 2 of their biggest stars, Nico and m0NESY, to Falcons, leaving them scrambling to put together an effective roster for the Major. Their remaining star, Hunter, was coming into the tournament with a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove that he could succeed on his own even without Nico, his cousin, backing him up. And a narrow overtime loss to Na'Vi in the previous round of the Swiss made G2 look like much more serious contenders than the Mongols. But the Mongols had something to prove. They weren't just playing to win. They were playing for their entire nation, to prove that they weren't wasting their time, to prove that great Counter-Strike could come from anywhere.
And the Mongols T-side has run rampant with the round wins. They will trickle into short side, and the Mongols looking to answer back from the failure on Ancient versus FaZe. This one is as clean as need be once they swapped sides.
The first half was close, but the Mongols went on a tear on T-side, heading into map 2 with confidence. G2 took an early lead, and yet the Mongols never gave up. Their signature aggression showed in every round, every gunfight, but G2 kept pushing them past their limits.
Again, Hades, is this your round? We got one from Heavy God, we had one from Mo, and now maybe Hades, better late than never! Tech9 to the doorway to crossover, no support. Snacks, you gotta stop it. 910 calls his bluff, plants! Oh, and the tap is the execution!
Hades took the map to overtime, but that was only the beginning.
If these are 2 pieces in this clutch you want, it's them, and Hunter's position's gonna catch players off. It's a knife out! Now they gotta trade back, Hunter on the line! Locks it all in!
Snacks actually coming in late.
Yeah, very late, in fact, takes the long road, opts not to jump up. Hades reacts to the Senzu, and then 910 catches him from the middle of the elbow. But soon Snacks is going to emerge. There's eyes on it from sight. They hold cover, and they cover one another. They do this so well. And with the absence of Nico, here comes Hunter, but he gets cut out. Retake queued up, flash over top. Heavy God gets the first. They're doing it. They're bringing it back. They've got a little position. The car player's dead. Blitz and 910 all that's left. This late burn around. Mo, star of the show, gets on top of this bomb. Has the kit to defuse it. Blitz out from the window. Dead. Are you kidding?
The Mongols and G2 went back and forth, tying overtime after overtime until they were in their 5th extra inning. 50 rounds in, and both teams looked exhausted. But that's when Blitz had enough. He held W and broke G2.
Early tunnels here from Mongols. What's that?
They missed their mid-smoke.
Okay, but they do still find the opening kill.
Yeah, that's stop down. Mom sit behind a molly here. Blitz surely heard that, right?
That's crazy, but if he disrespects the mid-smoke,
works.
He gets the kill. Are you kidding?
Oh, Blitz, he's tearing him up.
A triple out of Blitz, and he's still gonna go for more.
Oh, stop.
Just all on his own. Takes control of the situation. The king of round 51.
All logic has left the station.
That is 4 ripping headshots out of Blitz.
G2 shattered. After 2 grueling hours of going round for round, Blitz's play was all they could take, leaving the Mongols to march right through them.
910 on the angle, Blitz right in front of him, lands his shot on Heavy God, only 2 players left to bring it back. It's the Poles here for G2. And there's not enough left in it. Hades, you've got plenty of targets, 24 seconds. They're gonna swarm at him. They want it. They want to close on their terms with knives out. It is Mzinho from the backdrop. What was history in Shanghai is becoming a repeat offense. Asian teams in top 8s at majors.
The Mongols weren't just making history for their region. Even before the match went into OT, Senzu broke the record for the most kills during regulation with 36, then broke the record for the most kills at a CS2 major with 56. He led his team into the playoffs in dominating fashion. And yet, despite coming out on top of the longest, most difficult match of the tournament, the Mongols still had bigger challenges ahead, because their greatest enemy was returning for one more round. FaZe Clan's 2-0 win over the Mongols wasn't just a drubbing, it also locked the super team for a coveted spot in the playoff bracket with a guaranteed match against a lower-seeded team. And that team was the Mongols. Once again, the Mongols were facing down an opponent that almost everyone expected to crush them. Once again, the former greatest player in the world was looking to use them as a stepping stone on his journey back to the top. Simple was popping off in Austin. He was one of the highest rated players at the event going into this quarterfinals matchup, and it looked like he was slowly but surely returning to form.
It feels awesome because you're always practicing, you're becoming better, you see the progress, and all of my teammates supporting me, same as I do.
Simple was hungry for a win, for redemption, for a shot at proving he was still the greatest. And to many people watching, the Mongols didn't look like much more than a speed bump on his journey, especially after their group stage bout.
It was dire from the Mongols, right? They've begun on that T side, only getting 2 rounds to their name. They need to be showing up with a better game plan today.
And it wasn't just Simple. FaZe Clan were experienced. They'd been in countless major top 8s, a perennial fixture since the team was formed. Karrigan in particular was looking for redemption on American soil after his heartbreaking loss at the last NA major in Boston. And Elige, the last North American player still standing in the bracket, was looking to win one for NA in NA for the second time. FaZe was, in every way, motivated. They weren't just favored to win, they were hungry, weathered, and had the recent results to prove that they were going to the semifinals. Meanwhile, the young guns on the Mongols weren't nearly as familiar with the crushing pressure of the major stage. The crowd was screaming for FaZe, but the Mongols were about to shock Austin.
In this kill, Ray's got his back turn, 910 pulls the trigger, but the bomb
win the round.
The bomb is heading into karrigan in a 1v3, now they know, put him on notice, he's got his knife out and Mongols pull it
This is the gap, and they're already passing it. Oh no, he's missed it! An opportunity, and he squandered it twice, can't hit the third! Mazinho just spins around to open up the round and close down the site. But here comes Senzu into the site, ready for the swing, and the lead's not ready. Headshot provided, double kill out of Senzu. Perfect defense. They come and knock in and get sent back to spawn with nothing. 9-10's position is noted. Simple will punch in the coach. Rosen not looking. Mazinho gets him. Pure, perfect play. And Frozen completely overlooked him. We got an aggressor, and Simple, oh, he's missed it. He knows what's up. No scope required. He's let it go. Oh, no, a disaster for Simple. 9-10 just runs up the guts, and it looks like he's put them to bed. And it's around for the map. He wants to finish it with the knife. Slashing in the smoke, karrigan goes down. Mongols take map 1.
Although Simple did his best to keep the game alive, the Mongols took Mirage 13-9 with a definitive CT side, slamming the door shut on FaZe. FaZe answered back on Anubis, winning the first 3 rounds. But despite their early advantage and wealth of experience, they too were looking a little shaky, and Mongols took advantage of that.
Simple re-aggressing, he's not ready for the Senzu headshot. Rain, known to play on A, survives the passing gaze of Senzu, closing that gap. They don't know, they don't realize that Rain is right behind him. Oh, he was spoiled for choice. Had 2 on his screen and leaves with neither.
Winnable round there. karrigan sure gives away that opening dare, but Blitz, it's a crazy flank to make.
The Mongols and FaZe traded rounds back and forth. Neither team was going down without a fight.
1-4 favors that post plant, but now Senzu goes wide. Traded by Elige, important, but Mazinho lives on. Back of the site, can't tame the spray, and a shotgun retake is not gonna happen. 9-10 will peek through. Wow, Rain up against the sniper, and he's the one that's the most precise. 5-5. Triple kill from the Norwegian Rock. Everything to play for, everything to be gained. The flash, the swing, he's got it. The first is his. Oh, he's got it! The Star stands up on home soil and gives FaZe the edge. Techno's fast on the flank. He can't cover all the options. Senzu can deny it, doesn't elect to swing. Rain spotted, doesn't go down. Senzu, that low HP, Elige is coming. Gets the frag, and his face is round. Smokes will start to unload his mag, doesn't connect too much, spots out Rain crossing in, that low HP, converted upon, but that's karrigan. The Mag-10 trade, the bomb being planted, they can't seem to disrupt it. Rosen just rounding the corner willy-nilly, double from Senzu. It's looking good, it's looking great, only Elige can save him. Oh, he's in so much trouble, Techno takes him.
The perfect timing on that mid-push for Blitz.
The Mongols finally found an opening during a pivotal round 18, where they took out everyone on FaZe. Everyone except Simple.
By all accounts, this should be an impossible round to get back into, and he's probably considering the save.
But retreat was the last thing on Simple's mind.
Puts his nose out of smoke, slipping through. Go on the fade. Oh, and a mid-shot, Techno's got him! Mongols 9!
Simple's choice to push through and not save shattered FaZe's economy. He was too confident, and it cost them everything.
Catches the flash, starts to accelerate. It's a good shot from Mazinho. Only the one from Frozen. It could all end right here and now in the hands of the 9-10 sniper. The Mongolian delivers, and it's only Rain, and he's not got it in him. He hasn't got it in him. Mongols have done it. They slay the old gods in this generational clash.
Defying expectations, the Mongols broke through. They triumphed over the Titans, bringing down the former best player in the world, his major-winning teammates, and a crowd that desperately wanted to see FaZe win. And perhaps more importantly, they got revenge. The Mongols bounced back from the beating FaZe gave them in groups to emerge victorious when it mattered most.
We lost against them in the group stage at the 2-0, and we made so many analyses and discussed about our mistakes, and I think we fixed our, the mistakes, I guess.
This was now the Mongols' highest placement at a major. It was their first huge LAN win against a top-ranked team, but their campaign was far from over. Much like the Mongols, Pain Gaming were another dark horse few expected to see in the semifinals. Long cursed to play second fiddle to Furia as Brazil's best CS team, their struggle to make it out of that shadow ended in failure time and time again. And yet, defying the odds, Pain finally found a narrow overtime win over Furia in the quarterfinals.
Pain pull up coming into this is Underdogs versus a fiery and informed Furia that ran flawlessly through stage 3 to get here. Their first time on a stage this big, this important, and they rise to the occasion. There is fire in their hearts.
The win was a huge moment for longtime Pain member Big Uzera, who had dedicated himself to the team for nearly 6 years, fighting endlessly to prove himself and Pain over his countrymen. Many attributed Pain's success to their young stars, NQZ and Snow.
NQZ, that's a collateral. They line up for him back in main, and now it just feels like it's on rails for NQZ. 4 in the round.
But Pain's style that focused on young superstar players with cracked out aim was about to meet its match. The Mongols hadn't just made it to the semifinals on grit and determination alone. There was a secret to their success, and it was their unfiltered aggression.
For a moment longer, Bigu clears him out. Nice taps, hang on. Techno and Senzu making this awkward. Very awkward. Oh, it was such an opportunity. Look at it, it's a full spread. It's like, what, 2 kills, 3 kills between top and bottom? That's They lose it all as well.
After time.
After time, Chad. They got nothing. Techno versus NQZ. This is a big head-to-head, and NQZ doesn't even pull the trigger in time. Evzinho dispatches a Davadeus. A 13-round run. Pain by name, pain by nature. Agonizing way to start the semi-finals. Mongols flourish on the big stage.
Simply put, Pain were outclassed.
They need something, a little fire starter, a little spark to ignite hope. And NQZ provides the first. Big Uzera, though, needed to find more damage. Isolates NQZ on the retreat. Davadeus miles away, trying to
play with
hack the crowd.
No kit.
Throws out the nade, picks up the Galil, picks up the kit. The angle's good. I don't know if Davadeus is going to get there in time. Championship Sunday, it calls, and the Mongols answer. A Mongolian team in a major grand final. A first for Asia. A ritual of ruin. Playoffs versus Titans, they wavered. Paris, no. Copenhagen, they couldn't. Shanghai, not then. But now.
This was a match that could have broken either way, but the Mongols prevailed by leaning into what took them this far. They were 5 players with unshakable confidence in their aim and the audacity to play their unique puggy style at a major. And while it had taken them all the way to the grand finals, their next challenge was the one that ultimately broke them. It is impossible to talk about Counter-Strike 2 without talking about team vitality.
Just as that fight goes down, and so it is Flames this time to lose the fight out of Palace, but ZywOo stepping up, and instead he's got the double. Killing towards Ramp, no problem on the impact. He's got eyes on connector, but he needed to turn back. What? Oh yeah, that's what we've all come to see. Torsey up, and the chance of an ace. As ZywOo, will he oblige the audience? Yes, he will. He's here to entertain. ZywOo on the stage in the grand final.
Vitality weren't just the best team heading into the Austin Major and the tournament favorites. They were on the cusp of a dynasty. Win after win after win made their skill undeniable. They were simply crushing every other team in the world. And in Austin, their almost impeccable campaign continued.
The question of the day was, can they rise to the occasion, finally overpower Vitality in this head-to-head? And we have got our answer. In spite of these few rounds down the stretch, there's not been love for Mao's here on train. They say that hope dies last, but hope still dies. Mao's are done, and Vitality have a day with destiny. Grand final secured.
Counter-Strike has seen many eras of dominance, where one team simply looked so much better than the rest that victory felt like a given. Ninjas in Pajamas, Fnatic, Astralis, Liquid, Na'Vi, but now was the age of Vitality. Their unchallenged run had become so consistent that fans were beginning to accuse the team of being boring. But victory and glory are anything but. Vitality was just better, and no one else could handle it. Vitality's incredible strength came from a few places, but most notably, it came from their star, ZywOo. A major winner, ranked the best player in the world thrice, and a 27-time MVP.
Squeezed out from Pop, gonna try and run it out into the yard. ZywOo's AWP is on the line. Second bounce. ZywOo! Coming alive!
Leading ZywOo was Apex, a 2-time major champion and an IGL hungry to prove to his haters that he still had more to offer on the server. And the final piece of the puzzle was ropz. Long considered one of the best players in the world, ropz left a struggling FaZe early in CS2's lifespan to join Vitality, and he never looked back.
4 kills as he manhandles mid, and ropz is able to get flustered back to sight. He will hit him, and you've got Robin keeping it cool. A little more damage in. Shiro wants his clutch.
Flanked by Flamesy and Mezzy, this team didn't only look unbeatable, they were unbeatable. Vitality also just had more resources than the Mongols did. This was a wealthy team with performance managers, assistant coaches, and sports psychologists. They were a well-oiled machine designed to win. The Mongols were just some kids from the least populous strip of land in the world. Stacking the odds further against Mongols was the fact that Vitality had already beaten them 4 times in 2025. In Austin, the crowd expected a bloodbath, and even the broadcast desk thought that the outcome was inevitable.
In terms of going into a grand final, as you said, Freya, that's the first time they find themselves in that position. On top of that, Jason, if you have a one-dimensional way of playing Counter-Strike, if plan A doesn't work out, is plan B strong enough for the Mongols? That's what I could be a little bit worrisome of, especially when you consider the opposition tonight.
As the arena roared, the 2 teams took their spots on either side of the stage. This match felt like a foregone conclusion. And as it began, it went exactly as everyone expected.
Bomb not in a good spot. Vitality gonna try to chill. They have gotten 1v3 at this event. They have made a couple of mistakes early on in a game, but I think all that's just sharpened them up.
And ropz has got it cut down.
But no one could have predicted what happened next.
Vitality do have time to play, but that time's starting to add an extra layer of pressure. ropz, while throwing grenades, gets his kill. The 9-10 has the cover. Mezzy's gonna try to close the distance. Blitz, good support. Mezzy in the Mongols perfectly pieced together. But to do so, they'll have to still kill Techno, who plants that bomb on default. They'll join forces here. Vitality come in again, shoulder to shoulder. This time Mezzy with a bit more support in the Estonian. Space given over to Techno. He catches them off guard. But does he know about Mezzy, who's backed into another clutch? Back-to-back 1v1s. This time Techno has the equal amount of health, and the utility here to offset.
Wait, look how Techno's scaling here.
Just through the side of it, Mezzy. How many clutches can he be put into, and how many can he come up with? Health advantage once more. It's the headshot. And so the Mongols will take a 2-run lead on the T side of their map peak. Proof is in the pudding. Vitality bleed.
In a map everyone thought was Vitality's to win, the Mongols emerged ahead, 7-5 at the half. Their lead was narrow, and the analysts still seemed concerned for their chances.
What Mongols failed to do was win their map pick. They could win Nuke, but that was always Vitality's pick in the series.
But the Mongols did not know fear. They were not shaken, not yet. They knew they just had to press on the gas and take the fight to Vitality.
We thought to ourselves, that was the team who has the most reps against Vitality. The one that was slowly piecing together some kind of comfort zone. No comfort whatsoever. 9-10 hits another. He doesn't miss shots. And so this space, he will do it all if he has to. As the others fall for him, no help is coming from Vitality. 9-10 calls the emergency services. Vitality, they dead ahead.
910 hit the clip of a lifetime, shredding Vitality and putting his team, his nation, his people on map point. It was the exclamation point on a miraculous half. 5 straight rounds, 7 counting the 2 before the side switch. 910 had declared to the world that the Mongols were here, and that Mongolian CS could do anything.
It is a rare sight to beat Vitality in a map. It's another to embarrass them.
And fittingly, in the final round of Mirage, 4 of the Mongols' 5 players put at least 1 kill on the board.
Mirage their map pick, and you can see the confidence. You can feel the confidence. 910 yet again into that kill feed. Will he ever stop? Him and Senzu combining with the Ox yet again. Techno backs turn to him, and the headshots follow through. No respect.
The Mongols had done the impossible. They didn't just make Vitality look mortal, they made them look weak.
I am stunned, I am flabbergasted, I'm downright shocked that the Mongols came out with that much force. That was an unbelievable show of skill and show of nerve.
In Mongolia, thousands of people were watching. They were up all night in arenas, in town squares, at home. An entire nation was wrapped as their national team hit their apex.
Everything came together for the Mongols. They played the best Counter-Strike this team has ever played, and what a time to do that.
Riding that high, the Mongols looked poised to go into Dust 2 guns blazing, but Vitality were too experienced to break that easily.
5 rounds into play on Dust 2, and the Mongols look to secure their first, but if 910 goes down here, and he will to Apex, coming at this from the CT spawn, knowing damn well that Techno's still in tunnels, they can take the test to the bomb site in a flurry. This is Vitality trying to play in a flash, working it up, moving quickly, and killing the support away from Senzu.
It must be him.
No multi-frag this time. 5-0 straight from the favorite. Gonna take this chance, Blitz.
Really?
Mezzy has other ideas.
Full
now
eyes
all
on
of a
it
sudden,
early.
they're looking for a fast reaction. Rox lines him up, a ton of damage, and support comes over quick. Senzu gonna take a lick at it though. It's both players still with low health, and Robs has got this 1 box to work with. All he needs,
like a
piece
machine.
of cover, piece of cake. A slight hesitation from Vitality gave that chance back over, but you've allowed ZywOo to attack the flank, and you have allowed the best team in the world to rebuttal. This was always gonna be a challenge for the Mongols, and they set a hell of a precedent. But in a major grand finals, we will go the distance. Inferno up next.
It was a massacre. The Mongols had never been here before, and their inexperience showed. Vitality came together and shored up their mistakes, while the Mongols crumbled. And map 3 was more of the same.
And it is all hands on deck for the Mongols. It is only flashbangs for this retake. Flamesy right back into the kill feed. It is another triple from the young star of Vitality. ZywOo's gonna lean back into the site. Mezzy awaiting. Now he sees the barrel. He's got himself the kill. And so 1 frag out. 910 from the bottom of the scoreboards will be haunted by this performance unless, and it is not to be, for it is the bees. Today is the day of Vitality.
Mongols came painfully close to doing the impossible. 5 young players from the middle of nowhere pushed further than anyone believed. They proved they could beat almost anyone, but in the end, their heartbreaking loss came down to their inexperience. And Vitality, who had been here before, who were all but guaranteed to win the major, lifted their trophy. The Mongols collapsed at the finish line.
After the first map, I think I was imagining in my head like lifting the trophy, but I didn't get. That wasn't wrong thing to do, I think.
And yet, despite the loss, the Mongols had achieved so much. They beat some of the best teams in the world. They showed that great Counter-Strike can come from anywhere, and they proved almost no one can stop them. Most teams would be devastated by the loss, shaken to their cores. But the Mongols aren't most teams. They were already looking forward to their next chance to win.
Finalist at the major is something proud of. Maybe brick by brick, maybe next major, yeah.
The Mongols return to Mongolia as the pride of a nation, and the entire world is waiting to see what they can do next.